Hey, today we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico on Route 66. Right here is our 1937 alignment. That way's East Albuquerque. Lots of fentanyl, drugs, homeless people, prostitutes. Really gnarly down there. But you come to this gateway here. That's the entry point to what's called Nob Hill. Nob Hill continues about a mile and a half between Washington Street and Girard Boulevard. Anyway, historically, this section of Albuquerque is for the rich and the posh people of the neighborhood, established in 1900s. Anyway, 1916, the mayor erected a water tower on top of a hill in University Heights for the local residents, who named this little section here Nob Hill, after the fancy, expensive neighborhood out in San Francisco. Because of its high altitude and clean air, it also got the slogan, "Move out of the low zone, up to the ozone." A lot of residents with tuberculosis, they moved up here. Our first stop is going to be De Anza Motor Lodge on Washington. This here is the De Anza Motor Lodge. Anyway, listed in the National Register of Historic Places, opened in 1939, offered comfortable accommodations, as well as Zuni crafts and jewelry trading store. So De Anza has gone through a lot of revisions throughout the years. Here's what we have today, but in 1939, it's a collection of Spanish Revival whitewashed adobe structures with the little wooden timber vigas protruding from the roof lines, U-shaped layout, parking garages between the units, adobe village, two-story office right in the center. A giant A-shaped teepee-looking sign sat in front. At the top of the A was a Spaniard conquistador looking like the explorer Juan Bautista de Anza. So later became a member of the Best Western Network. The adobe little timber vigas, they kind of were taken down or toned down. A large canopy was erected in front of the main lobby. A new A-shaped sign was placed in front with a thick steel pole, and a pool was built in the parking lot along the eastern part of the office. Anyway, here's what we have today. So the pool would be kind of like right about here. All right, it's our De Anza sign there. Anyway, the old motel was torn down in 2017. Our motor lodge has a more cosmopolitan look today. Anyway, all that left is the sign there. That's all that remains from the heydays of De Anza Motor Lodge. Across Route 66, this little motel structure with the wagon in front. That guy was called the Bel Air Motel, 1960s. Except for the color schemes we have today, it kind of looks a lot the same. Neon signs, the basic structure of this motel really hasn't changed. L-shaped layout, row of attached units, slightly slanted roof there, regular doors and windows, described as a new motel with beautiful furniture and wall-to-wall carpeting. All the rooms have private ceramic tiled baths, tub, shower, heated by hot water and cooled by refrigeration. Anyway, the original building had a lightish appearance with yellow accents, light green neon sign up front, the yellow with the red accents, darker sign, and finally a light brown sign with the little dark brown accents. And today it's this little apartment building sort of complex. Over here, now this guy right here, it's called Swayze's Dinner Bell. Opened in 1942 by Mr. and Mrs. H.H. Swayze. Offered motorists the finest meals in Albuquerque. Started out as our little Spanish Revival whitewashed adobe building with timber vigas on the roof line. Beautiful neon sign up front advertising their steaks and chickens. And then later on, this guy became a Circle K motor court after the Circle K cattle brand. Anyway, it's kind of hard to see in there. Right now I had 12 separate units, pearl rows, choice of shower or tub. Large Circle K. It's way in the back there for the cattle brand. So today it's all private apartments. This building here with the metal siding, this is Heights Cocktail Lounge. Opened in 1950, became the town's local gay bar. So the gay bar closed down and moved further downtown. So here we are today looking eastbound, but I got a photo from 1970s, the same location. On the left we have our De Anza Motor Lodge, then the bank building, Ramada Inn, and on the right we have the Bel Air Motel, Harper Realty, and a few odds and ends down the road. This place right here used to be called Goody's Restaurant. Now it's the Korean Barbecue. Sometimes people called it Goody's Coffee Shop. Original building was erected in 1960s. Little modern, upwards canted roof. Got the little tipped eaves up there. Had a tall sign with multicolored vertical displayed bubble-like discs spelling out the name Goody's. Terrific popular dining place for business, professional people. Anyway, fine food at popular prices. So originally the interior had a greenish and yellow type bench seating, later adopted more darker professional look. Even had a pull-up breakfast bar and four-legged high-back chairs. By the 1960s, the sign was remodeled like a bow tie, printed down to a lower height, and kind of moved to the other side of the building. Changed its name to Goody's Breakfast Bar. Today it's called Korean Barbecue and Sushi. This building here, Thai Cuisine, number 2. It's an old Der Wiener Schnitzel. Anyway, it started out as an A&W root beer stand, 1949. 1960 became our Der Wiener Schnitzel hot dog. Erected with the company's original design, trademark steep gable roof there. This is one of 3 Der Wiener Schnitzels in Albuquerque. Today it's our Thai Cuisine, but you know, you still looks like you want to get your little Der Wiener Schnitzel hot dog out of this place. Maybe some fries. There we are, a little Der Wiener Schnitzel. Look at that. The cafe inside. Beautiful mural. Anyway, this whole section, apartment here, used to be the Martins Tourist Court and Trailer Park. Anyway, built in the 1940s, but no longer here, was a U-shaped layout, covered garage carports between the units, jagged-looking parapets on the roof. Described as New Mexico's finest trailer park, pleasant, quiet, courteous, managed. Anyway, some of the cottages even came with kitchenettes. Later rebranded as Martin's Motel, U-shaped layout, white and brown trim, individual garages, small diner on the right. Had a neon sign for Martin's Motel. In 1972, Martin's was torn down, replaced with the Royal Hotel in the center, then the El Serape restaurant on the corner. Together they formed a little U-shaped complex with the hotel on the left and the restaurant on the right. And the Royal Hotel was torn down in 2009 as a nuisance, and shortly after El Serape was destroyed in an arson fire. Anyway, this whole site was vacant for like 15 years. Now we have these fancy apartments, Broadstone, Nob Hill. Anyway, here we got more apartments right here. Anyway, this place called Broadstone, this used to be the El Oriente Auto Court. Opened in 1935, U-shaped cottage units, Spanish-style parapets on the roofline, attached garages between the units, garden courtyard in the center of the driveway. Fancy neon sign was mounted on a pole right in the front. 1950s became the Minton Lodge. Had 21 large, attractively furnished rooms. All the rooms were shaded with the restful patio. Anyway, it was torn down. Town Lodge became a little more modernized, and the sign up front was changed out. But lots of apartments all throughout this historic little area here. Anyway, it's all gone. This building on the corner, 1980s, it was a club lounge and liquor store, and later grew to the Acapulco Diner and Dance Club. Then it became the Coral Western Nightclub, then Leo's La Rock, and finally the Pulse. But it was torn down. And today we have, it's called Cube Smart, part of the Platinum Knob luxury apartments. Even the old sign is removed. That's too bad. Across the street, this is called the Comfort Lodge. 1950s, facing the beautiful Sandia Mountains. The original building was a simple brown tone, one-story flat-roofed, sort of J-shaped layout on the corner here. Office was in front. A big green neon sign on the corner, described as a very attractively furnished motel in the uptown shopping district. colored tile baths, radios, free alarm clocks, even a television in the lobby. So later the colors were updated to a more friendly, bright white stucco look, green awnings, red trim. And then later we added on this second level here. Anyway, overall it looks pretty much the same. Here, this whole area is called the Morningside Shopping Center. Dates back to the 1940s. Got a sign way on the end there. Across the street, our Cowboys and Indians store. Look at that beautiful rounded corner. Here's our beautiful Morningside Shopping Center sign. Dates back to the 1960s. And here at Two Wheel Drive, that used to be the old El Cortez restaurant. Here we have the townhouse properties. This was the 1940s Paramount Cafe and Cocktail Lounge. Specialized in steak and served both Greek and ethnic food and Southwestern classic dishes. 1958 became the Townhouse Lounge, serving steaks and seafood. Even had a big cow on the roof. Anyway, that cow's gone. Today it's the Townhouse Antique Shop. The original sign on top, only the words have been changed except for the colors. But the building looks pretty much the same. Got some great little shops over here. Tattoo, Nob Hill music. Anyway, got this thing called lofts down there. They got a little minion up there. And on the corner, got some beautiful murals. There's somebody there hanging out with that Zia sun. Got the neon hot rigged All America sign here. That guy there, it's called Lofts there. It's called the Premier Motel. Opened in 1941. Anyway, it wasn't the largest, but it was the best. 30 deluxe units, rear units, and patio. The rear units were in an annex building on the south side of the property. By the 1960s, the hotel grew to 35 rooms and added the amazing vertical neon sign with the red bubbles spelling out motel. Today, it's an apartment complex. We have right here, it says lofts, and those little bubbles that used to say motel. So our neon hot sign, called the Neon Art Gallery. Beautiful signs. You got to come here at nighttime. See if they're all lit up. There's a nice Route 66 lady there. And some little art. Route 66 shield. Fantastic. Here we have hot yoga. Anyway, on Aliso Drive, this vacant lot, it used to be the Aztec Court, listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1993, all torn down now. So it opened in 1932 as the Aztec Court, built in our Pueblo-style design. Extruded wood vigas on the two-story office, enclosed garages. Had the slogan, "If you stop, you stay." 12 modern cottages. 1950s, it expanded, converted the garages to units, added the new neon sign up front. Hotel deteriorated over time, is torn down in 2001. This place, Aztec Motel Aero sign, was left up till 2015, but it's pretty much gone. I don't see it anymore. We got the Alon next door here. Our beautiful Alon station. This is an old Conoco. Used to have a really tall Conoco sign right up front. It's Frame City. This is kind of what's called the Art District down here of Nob Hill. Have a little outdoor swap meet. They're selling lots of jewelry and local artifacts and things like that. Nob Hill East. Check out this bus station. And the buses run right in the center on the left side and the center on the other side. So they got lots of free traffic. This here is called Zaz. Hotel Zaz, Route 66. Z Lounge, vinyl, and cocktails. So this was once our travel lodge called the Albuquerque East Travel Lodge Motel from the 1960s. Then it became University Lodge. Today it's called Zaz. Originally had 55 units, a heated pool. Looks pretty fancy today. All those cool colors, but really the building's pretty much unchanged. On the sign, those 3 poles we have there used to hold up that Travelodge bear, sleepy bear on top there, and then the University Lodge. So that's a pretty nice looking place today. Up at the lobby we got this really neat 1960s half round barrel vaulted canopy at the entrance. This is originally part of that Travelodge design. That is pretty neat. Across the street, this little pharmacy, it's called the pharmacy. It's a little cafe, but it's called the Toddle House Cafe back in the old days, 1940s. One of America's first fast food chains. Open all night, offering good food at its best. Sold salads, sandwiches, and soup. 1920s, James Smith, he developed this concept. It grew into a business. 1950, he had 200 of these restaurants in almost 90 cities. They all had this brick cottage-style design with the blue gabled roof. Inside was stainless steel counters and stools, but no tables. 1962, the business was acquired by a competitor and liquidated, and that's called the pharmacy. Here we have Nob Hill Court. Today this is called Nob Hill Court. 1937. Oh, there we go. That's cool. 1937, it was called Modern Auto Court. White stucco style U-shaped layout, covered carport parking between the units, office in the center, and a big neon sign on a post in the front office. Modern Court was on the roof too, a little sign there. Later additional units were added to the back, garages were converted to units, front office was simplified, and a new neon sign was erected in front of the office. 1942, it had 13 units here. 1950s is rebranded as the Nob Hill Court, had that new neon sign up there. Became listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 1993. Anyway, today's a bunch of little personal shops. Hey, Route 66 shop. All sorts of neat things you can buy here, called custom screen printing. Guerrilla Graphics. Hey, over here it's called People's Flower Shops. It's the second location, opened in the 1960s by Max Pollock and his wife. The first shop opened downtown in 1944. Got the beautiful green tiles all along the roof there in the facade. Anyway, it's all from original Route 66 days. Beautiful. Called People's Flower Shop. Anyway, on the corner, this guy, Predator and Prey Exotics. It's a 1940s mobile station. Anyway, here's a pump island right in front there. 2 steel posts holding up that flat canopy. It's all rounded on the edges. That's pretty neat. Used to have 3 horizontal bands painted. Now they're all painted the same color. 1940s, 1950 mobile design. Corner office has these large plate glass windows. The service bays were, well, over here they're all filled in. This here is called Clown Dog. Now next to our People's Flower Shop, this vacant lot in the Clown Dog. That used to be a gas station, auto repair shop. Auto repair shop was torn down in 1960 to make room for a KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. 1975 became Fat Humphrey's Hero Place.
Home of the bigger, better hero sandwich. Fat Humphrey's.
That was a landmark for like 25 years. Then became Nello's Ragin' Shrimp. And in 2019, it's now the Clown Dog Hot Dog Restaurant. So looking eastbound, this is west, Route 66. Looking eastbound here, about the same location. On the left, we have our mobile station, Travelodge with our bear, Conoco, now the Alon station, Aztec Motel, all the way down to the First National Bank. On the right is KFC. We just talked about the new Clown Dog. Then, of course, the People's Flower Shop, Nob Hill Motel with the green motel sign, Premier Motel with the round balls and the star on top, and a few others. And the bank, of course, is the tall building way down there. Anyway, we got another building here. It's called the Nob Hill Station, 1939. Sold Conoco gas. Used to be a white stucco Art Deco design with rounded corners. We still have the corners there around the roof line. Had terrific large plate glass windows right in the front. geometric stepped up canopy over 3 gas pumps. And the name was even written in modern font on the parapet. And today it's a Route 66 veterinary clinic. Same building, lots of curves, rounded windows, neon sign there for Route 66 veterinary. Anyway, a lot of the bay's been filled in, of course. But here's where you want to bring your sick little pet. This building here is Fan Tang Restaurant. Beautiful tower right on the back there. Anyway, this was our standard brand service station built in 1946 by Albuquerque Oil and Gas Company. First operated as McCormick's Service, then later became Johnson Standard Motor Company. Another Art Deco streamlined design, rounded edges, large windows. Today it's a Fan Tang Asian restaurant. It's got this beautiful whitewash. Look at those rounded corners, great windows, beautiful little eating patio covered area here. Anyway, it still has that turret on top of the roof. We get another beautiful look at that fellow up there. You don't see these very often. There we go. Anyway, flat stepped up canopy on the corner. It's all been filled in. 2 service bays on the left. They've been enclosed too. Across the street, that's the Nob Hill Business Center, or Shopping Center originally. Listed in the National Register of Historic Places, built in 1946, opened the following year. This was New Mexico's first drive-in shopping center. So before automobiles, people would always have to take the train downtown to the depot. So it was kind of an experiment when they built this. When people got cars, did they actually drive their cars to the supermarket? And apparently they did. We got this beautiful streamlined Art Moderne look, all the rounded edges, all along the parapet. Just fantastic looking building. Accented lines, 2 pairs of towers on the roof there. Anyway, got stucco walls, decorative brick. Today we have about 21 different little stores and restaurants, and our Keystone way in the corner, that's our little co-op supermarket. Across from the Nob Hill Business Center, that sign looks like a piano. That's for Vic Tanny's gym. Vic Tanny was an American bodybuilder, an inventor of today's modern gyms. He started his business out in Santa Monica in 1941. By 1960, it grew to 88 locations, and Vic got very rich. But as it goes, Vic was a big spender. With his lavish lifestyle, he ran out of money, and the chain eventually went bankrupt. Nobody really remembers Vic, but the sign is still here. It used to say Vic Tanny's way at the top there. The gym running vertical rock, steam, and massage. Anyway, that's pretty neat. Got the Lucky Goose and the Empire Board Library. So down this way, a bunch of newer places. Not so Route 66-y. We got a little wine tasting, Michigan Winery. Anyway, lots of cool murals here. Here's a better look at our Vic Tanny sign right there. It's called Kyle Zimmerman Photography today right there, but that's Vic Tanny's. Now our Mission Winery building, tasting room, used to be called Zacatecas Tacos and Tequila Restaurant right here. That's kind of neat. We had this brick building right here, Scott's Dog Grooming, Nob Hill Music. But now it's this little wine tasting bottle shop. This building here, Enchanted Botanicals Cannabis. Anyway, during our Route 66 days, this was Kurt's Camera Corral. Rainbow awning over the sidewalk, great neon sign on top. Opened by Kurt Kuby in the 1950s. The business thrived until the early 2000s when the brick and mortar stores kind of fell through. And Kurt's son Jim, he closed up this shop in 2015. Right up ahead, this place called Chocolate Dude. That used to be called Baca's Mexican Restaurant. Closed around 1975 after the death of the owner, Milton Baca. Across the street, 1861 Market and Premium Cannabis right there. 1940s, that was the Rainbow Cafe. tall white rounded building. Then it became Zachary Jewelry. Now it's this 1861 pot shop. So right next to Baca's Mexican restaurant on the corner here at Boba Tea Company, that used to be a Texaco filling station, auto repair shop. We're going to cross over the street here. This great building here still looks fantastic. It's Jones Motor Company in Texaco. Now it's Cold Stone Pizza, operated by Ralph Jones in 1939. Served as a Texaco filling station and a car dealership. Listed in the National Register of Historic Places. Beautiful gas pumps right in front. You got a little Fire Chief gasoline for Texaco. Holy smoke. So on the left here, that's where the service buildings. On the right was a new car showroom. Beautiful. The gas pump island right in the center. Art moderne, rounded corners, great geometric designs, really high showroom, great windows right in front here. There's this eye-catching tower right there. Beautiful, lights up at night. Even has this diagonal facing building, so it serves both Route 66 and Wellesley Drive. Happy accidents. Uh-oh. So Jones, he moved his dealership out of here in 1957, but he built a new building, has been kept up, restored, repurposed lots of times. Today it's Kelly's Food, I believe. Kelly's Food Pub and Brew. And it's called McTuccio's or something. Can't really read that. Anyway, that sign up there used to say Texaco right there. Beautiful little shops and Burland Dispensary. Lots of pot places all over the place here. It's called Master Cleaners. Here we have the Motel Highway House. Sleep is our business. Built in 1958 by Delbert Webb. He's a real estate developer, co-owner of the New York Yankees. So Webb, he also built the Flamingo in Las Vegas for the mobster Bugsy Siegel. Promoted the slogan here, sleep is our business. 2 levels, office up front, gable roofs, large swimming pool. Anyway, that's the original neon sign up there for our highway house. Beautiful. It's kind of falling apart today. Anyway, it's all kind of black, and the main office here is became a little sushi sake Japanese restaurant. Anyway, it's a highway house cafe. This here is the Nob Hill Monte Vista Firehouse. And that building there is the American Legion building. 1936, Pueblos Spanish style revival design, white stucco building, adobe, timber vigas coming out of the roof line. The original firehouse stood all alone here. The fire engine door on the left, where that smoky note sign is right there. And a little center tower right there in the American Legion building on the right. The American Legion building is all kind of rounded. Used to be more rounded. Now it's all squared off in front. Served as a Nob Hill fire station until 1972. Anyway, the new restaurant, the Smoky Note, is here. It looks pretty much the same, except the large fire doors in front, of course, have been filled in, and the American Legion's all squared off there with 2 stories. That's pretty neat. Right on the north side, past Bryn Mawr Road, we got some cool places here. This guy, it's called the Little Chief Drive-In Cafe. Little stucco style building, arch parapets, overlaying diamonds along the roof line. Great looking neon sign up front. Little Chief on top. Been torn down, replaced by this building right here across from me. We got the Astro Zombies. Here's a better look at Astro Zombies. The site of Schroeder Drugs, dating back to 1937. Great example of our streamlined art moderne architecture, rounded corners, large windows, diagonal entrance under the round canopy. Today, except the paint job and all the words, Astro Zombies Comics has maintained the original structure. Looking west from Astro Zombies on Route 66, 1940s, we have Schroeder's. It's the Lobo business section of Nob Hill. Across Richmond is the New Mexico State Bank. The building across the street on the corner is a Pantheon restaurant with its vertical neon sign. Next door to that's a liquor store, and then the famous Lobo Theater. Our Wells Fargo building, 1940s, that was the New Mexico State Bank. On the corner, beautiful little paint job here with the little canopy hanging over the walkway. It's a former Pantheon restaurant, 1939, just past the Little Chief Cafe. At one time, this rounded parapet went all around the roof line. Still has that rounded edge up front, little diagonal entry in the corner over here. Beautiful rounded edges all up there. Contrasting, sharp lines, look pretty good. They specialized in seafood and catered to the locals, the movie patrons from the theater down the street. Right here, that's our theater. Here we have our beautiful Lobo Theater. Opened in 1938, listed in the National Register Historic Places. So back in 1931, this is the location of Mac's Iceberg Cafe, home of the original frozen custard. The cafe looked like an iceberg, became a destination on Route 66. In 1938, they physically picked up the building, moved it to East Albuquerque. The same year, the Lobo Theater here opened up. Concerts and movies listed on the marquee back then. Go Chase Yourself. 1938 comedy crime starring Joe Penner and Lucille Ball about 3 bank robbers on a wild goose chase with the police. 2 doors down, we got this neat looking building. This building here next to the Lobo Theater used to be a bowling alley. And on the corner, right here, this was an old Texaco station. This is Pips Texaco, built around 1930s, 1940s, had a hip roof canopy, service bay. Anyways, built before the bowling alley next door, so it used to be a big vacant lot here between the Texaco and the theater. It's a great rounded facade right on top there. Anyway, closed down in the 1960s. It's pretty much the same building, but the canopy's been walled in right in front. It's been converted. So here we are looking east. Got a photograph. Lobo Theater on the left there, followed by the Pantheon Restaurant, the Little Chief Cafe, the turret tower of the old Standard Oil Station, and finally the highest part of the Nob Hill Firehouse. And we made it to the end. Nob Hill. That's our western gateway arch. This is called the Triangle. Some people call it the Bermuda Triangle. Anyways, big crossroads here between Route 66, Girard Boulevard, and Monte Vista. Back in 1950s, here's our triangle. Got the Triangle Cafe on the left, Pegway Standard Station in the middle, Joe Lobo's, or Lobo Joe's on the far end. The Triangle Cafe was right under the Gateway Arch. This is today's Nob Hill bus station, right here. Anyway, opened in 1929. In 1934, the owner refused to renew his lease, so he picked up his building brick by brick and reassembled it here at the Taco Bell. Wow, so in the 1950s, the new Triangle building became the Cocktail Lounge. Simple box-shaped brick building, 4-sided gable-hipped roof, large triangle on the top, a fancy cocktail lounge, neon sign right up front. Then it closed in the 70s and 1980s, torn down, and now it's our Taco Bell. We also had Tawny Pugue's Standard Oil Service Station in the same property here at the Triangle. It's on the left side, 1934. Anyway, the Standard was constructed as a new superstation, no longer here. This is the Triangle Park Police Substation. This is one of our old Valentine diners. Our little portable prefabricated restaurant shaped like a rail car. Easily pick this up, move it around, and reassemble it. You find them all up and down Route 66 in Americana, across our Midwest states here. Anyway, about 2,000 of these diners are manufactured, ready to use. Little kitchen, counter, stools, and tables. Anyway, it used to be called the Little House Cafe on 8th Street, downtown Albuquerque, but closed down. They moved it up here as a little substation. Across the street, where the Basque restaurant there is. That was called Lobo Joe's, opened in 1959. Neon sign up front said Lobo Drive-In Restaurant, Lobo Joe's, featuring a cowboy hollering, "Howdy, I'm Joe." Later added a super high bright neon Lobo Joe's restaurant sign on 3 tall poles, but today it's all closed up. Anyway, that's the tour of Nob Hill out here in Albuquerque. We're going to take a break and then head downtown so we can find some more cool stuff on Route 66. Thanks for watching. Bye.